Let's look at Ansible roles and how we can write a particular role that can be shareable in multiple playbooks. So, the great thing about Ansible roles is that you can write, little functional bits of code and then reuse that in as many playbooks as you want without having to actually have a playbook, copy and paste, content out of that into another, etc., etc. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of a very simple role. It makes the playbooks also a lot easier to read in that you only really have a few lines of code here. So we've got our host again, we're just using all, and if we look at our inventory file, I've just got one local server that I'm using. And straight away we're into roles. So I've said role 1 and role 2, we're going to go and change them in a minute, and I'm going to go and show you how you can write a rollout very simply. So the one thing that I like to do is have your roles directory and put all of your roles inside that role directory. Now there is a command and it looks a little bit like this. So we have Ansible Galaxy. So Ansible Galaxy is actually, if you go to Ansible Galaxy in a web browser, you can see lots of collections and lots of roles of, the community that have written them for us to use. So we're using the Ansible Galaxy command. We're doing an init, so we're going to initialize a new role. And then we have to just say where we want to put this role. So in roles, which is the roles folder that we created, I'm just going to put OS start. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and that's going to go, and we can see there it's created this OS start role. And what I'm going to use this role for is that when we build an operating system, in this example, I'm going to make it patch some servers. So it's created the blueprint of all the files and directories that we need. I didn't actually know about this command until quite recently. I used to write out all of these by hand. I didn't have handlers. I haven't posted anything into Galaxy, so I didn't need the meta directory. But everything else I wrote out there by hand. But this nice command, Ansible Galaxy init, and then where you want it, we'll actually go and create that structure for you. So now that we've created OS start, what we need to do here is put in OS start. Now, I'm just going to comment out this one because we don't need role 2. This is all that you would really need in a playbook, unless you're passing variables to it. And again, variables, you could put in the global variables file. But you could just get away with these 4 lines. Now, in roles, OS start, we've got a tasks directory, and then we've got main.yaml. And again, it's commented saying these are tasks for this role, which is really nice. And the good thing about this is we can just go ahead and we could do name, patch server, we could do package, name, let's do all, and the state of latest. So what this is going to go and do is go and patch the server, all packages to latest. Let's also, while we're here, let's go and install common tools. Okay, so we might have, let's actually do this like this. And again, I'll actually put the contents of this in a GitHub repo for other people to read. But what I'm going to be doing here is just using a vars packages and here. So let's make sure we've always got wget. Let's make sure we've always got nettools. So nettools will allow us to use things like netstat. If you're old school and still use netstat like I do. And that should be it. So assuming my syntax is correct, we've got patching a server and we've got installing common tools. And those packages that we're going to install are wget and nettools. We could build on this. We could add loads more if we wanted to. So I think let's just have a quick look. We've got that role. We've got tasks main.yaml. That should be all we need. So if I go and do Ansible playbook, do the inventory file, and it is, I'm using playbook.yaml. That should go and run. Oh, I need to actually go and connect. This is I built this server this morning, so it's not ready. I'm just going to go and make sure that I have keyless authentication to it. There we go. And now let's go and run it. So what we'll see here, I'll go and gather facts. I could have turned that off. And the thing I like about roles is when it reads out what it's doing, you can see here, it's got the role name, and then you can see it's got the task name that we defined here. It's got the role name here, and then again, the task that we defined. So simply here, that role has gone and done it. It's patched the server. I mean, it was already up to date. This was a new server that all of my servers that build automatically patch on boot. And then it's installed common tools. And they were wget and nettools, and we can see that changed that, and that did it. So the lovely thing about this is this OS start folder, I can zip that up. I can, put that wherever I want, and use the contents of this and build on this. I could add some tests in there. I could do a whole manner of things. But in essence, that is how to use roles. And I suggest using roles on everything. It's a lot easier to pick that up. And then if you have multiple roles and you use multiple roles to actually, build something. I'm part of an open source project called Ansible DB. And in that, we have multiple roles that build an Ansible DB server, everything from provisioning the database, the Python web front end and things like that. And that's all broken down into certain roles, and they're all part of a collection. So you can also have a collection. You can install a collection of roles, which I'll go into in another video. And that just allows you to package all the roles together, and they all work with each other. So you need them all with each other. And you can then use a whole collection to install an application stack like we have. So I hope that's been useful. Please let me know if anything doesn't make sense. And thank you for your time.